All right, welcome back to Lag Demon Programming. When we left off, we were having a little a weird problem with it dumping out the text of this, and I want to point something out. A little mistake that I made when the lexical analyzer processes information, it processes. Excuse me, let me get a drink. Sorry, my throat gets a little bit dry from all the talking. It processes it top down. So whatever pattern matches is going to match. And if you put catch-alls like all characters above like the quote, it'll catch the quote as what it'll consume it as part of the string. And that's what was throwing this all off. So now with our rooms and causing our errors with it not knowing what to do. So I moved those appropriately to the bottom of these, and the comments now work, and the block text now works correctly. And we haven't tested the single line comment, I don't think, but we'll do that. Like here, we'll cut out the item and we'll see if it, yeah, it still compiles. So it didn't recognize. Actually, I should do is put some junk. I'll put this is a comment, and we'll check that and make sure, yeah, line comment works too, so it ignored that, otherwise it would give a compile error. So we still have our room to do, and we've got 3 of them in here, and we'll get on that right now. So that's working. If I run this now, we'll get a compile error because it doesn't know about rooms. Unexpected room, expecting description or unique or item, or a close brace. So now we need to go over to our parser and start working on the idea of a room. So here's the room. So well, room is going to be room, the keyword room, followed by an ident, followed by an open brace, followed by a, we'll call it room items, followed by a close brace. So now we have to create room items, and room items are a room item. Remember our recursive. We're going to have a room item, or we'll have room items followed by a room item. So that creates the recursive construct, so we can actually we'll allow multiple of those too, and we'll dice that out later. There might be reasons for putting multiple descriptions in some things. So a room item is well, we've already got a description, so we can have that's an easy one. So it's a description, or exit list. And an exit list is a very simple thing. It's just an ident list, and we're going to probably have more than one reason for having an ident list. So we're going to come down here to the bottom and create this idea of an ident list, not item list, ident list. And an ident list is pretty easy. It's going to be a brace followed by ident list items followed by a brace, close brace, or close bracket. And so then we'll have ident list items will be an ident, or an ident list items followed by a quote, comma, quote, followed by an ident. So this puts the brackets around it, and this creates the recursive loop with the comma in between. So there's at least a couple items here. The braces and the comma, I think we may need to add to our lexer. We do not yet have a comma. We have the braces. Oh yeah, we got brace and comma. So actually, this might work now. Oh, we got a problem. What do we got? Symbol ident. Okay, so I got a typo. That's an easy one. Ident. Where did I use ident? Must be in room. Ident. Yeah. There it is. Ident. All right. And it worked, and now it unexpected exits, expecting description, or okay, so oh, I didn't finish exits, did I? Dungeon item exit list is an item list, so it's an exit list. A room item is a description or an exit list. Oh. Exits followed by an ident list. It compiled, but why are we getting warmers? Float expression is used, but is okay. No, that's fine. We'll get back to expressions later, and there it completely compiled. So here's our language for describing our dungeon, and we can put comments in it, and we can put all the information we want in. Now what we need to do is start building the classes that this will generate objects for and tie them together as a complete dungeon. So let's do that right now. We'll put them in our include directory, and we will call this, we'll make a new file, and we will call this dungeon.h. We'll call it dungeon. Yeah, we'll just call it dungeon.h. That's fine. And I want to close. Well, no, I want to keep this open here. I want to open this one over here. I want to open this one over here. And we'll do our usual thing here. If and def underscore h. So this is just multiple file inclusion protection. Pound. All right, so now we'll just start off here with we'll begin with the low level things. So we need to be able to create a description object. So let's start off with a class called description, and it has a we will go private. And we will call this, let's include some things. A string, and we will probably need vector. All right. Standard string underscore display name. And standard string underscore text. And we'll go public. We'll create a constructor for a description. Standard string display name. standard string text. Then we'll go underscore display name. Spell it right. I'm going to move this over. And underscore text. So there's our constructor. We'll have a couple of getters. A standard string. Man, I can't type. Get display name, return display name. Get text, return text. Okay, and there's our description class. Semicolon at the end of that. All right. We need an item. Oh, and I didn't add items to the room. And what we can do is add that. Well, let's go ahead and do that right now. We can go items, and we can put in here knife and scepter. Did I call that scepter? You know what? I think that's spelled sceptor, not scepter. Okay. I'm not the greatest speller. So items, we've got this item here, but items with an S, we need to fix that. So this is a real quickie. We can add this in. We've got text. We need items, and we will simply return items. We'll go back to our parser, and we'll add items, percent token items. And now one of the things that a room can contain is an exit list or an item list. And so where do we have exit lists? Yeah, exit list. So an item list is items followed by an ident list. And this should actually just compile now. And expected brace. Items. Items. That's an item list. Oh, item list, ident list, items. We want to ident list. Yeah. And it compiles. Okay. So now we can add items in there too. So let's go back to our class. Because next we want, it looks like next we want to make a, we'll create an item, a class called item, and it just has a description. And now we're going to be linking classes together, and so the best thing to do with that is to do it with pointers. So that they can be composed easily. But what we're going to do is use a special mechanism here. We're going to include memory, and here under item, we're going to have a standard unique pointer of type description called the underscore description. Oh, wait a minute. No, that's for a room. An item, we don't need to do that for item. Well, actually, an item, knife. We did this. We could have a description and then a value so that it could have a display name, of course. So now we need to change our language a little bit. So I don't know what I was thinking when I did this. Very simple thing. I should have done it following my same pattern. So let's change it. So actually it's just going to be like this with a value, except that we're going to tag these and we're going to call this, we're going to come in here and say description, display name, text at, well, it can be any text, so we'll just put a thing here, display name, knife, a sharp knife. So there's always kind of an iterative process, and you find things, but this is also going to have a value field, and so we can do the same thing with this unique item, scepter, description, value, and then close this off. Okay, so description, this is going to be the text. It doesn't have to be that special kind of text, but we still need a display name. Scepter. All right. Now it's not going to compile. If we run this now, it's going to give an error. So we need to go back here and define properly what a item is. So it's no, item is an item ident with an open brace followed by a description, t-string value equals int, followed by this. And then the same thing for unique item, ident, description, t-string value int, brace. Let's build that. Unexpected value expecting t-string. A description. No t-string in here. It's a description followed by a value equals. And there, that compiled. So that makes our life a little easier over here, because now this item can have a description, which takes care of all that stuff. And we can have a standard, we can have an int underscore value. Then we can go public. And for this item, what we want to do is send in that unique pointer, standard unique pointer, description, and then int value. Now, modern C++, since C++ 11, has what are called move semantics. And what this means is that there's things we want to move. We don't want to copy. So the difference is that the thing it moved from is now dead when we move it. It's empty. And certain types of objects that support move semantics can do this, and unique pointer is one of them. So what we're going to call is standard move underscore description, comma. Now I'm confused. Oh, that's right. Sorry. I confused myself. Underscore description, we want to initialize it with standard move description. And then we will initialize underscore value with value. And the one thing that we need to do real quick is add this file to our CMake list text under wrong one, dungeon, this one, so that changes are picked up. Actually, we'll just link it to this, and we'll go here, main.cpp, we'll go dot include dungeon.h. That way changes to that will cause a rebuild. Or they should. Let's go into main. Okay, and so we haven't gotten to there yet. So, all right, so we have an item. We probably want to have this idea of these are just lists, so a room. So then the last thing we have is or no, next to last thing is room. And go private. Again, we can just copy that. A room has this description. We want to use a unique pointer for that. And it has a vector of standard string called exits. And it has a vector of standard string got those included. Called items. So this one's going to be a little different because what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and make our public constructor for room, which is going to do the same thing here, but that's all we're going to put into it is the description. And so we will initialize description, standard move description, and that's fine. But then what we'll have is a couple of functions. Void, we'll have it add exit, standard string exit ID, and we'll go underscore exits dot pushback exit ID. And then we'll have void add item, standard string item ID underscore items dot pushback item ID. So now we have that far. I'm going to go over here to main. I'm going to include this so we can do some testing. Let's do make. See if we get a bunch of errors, and we did. Exist ID. Okay. It looks like bad typing again. Exit ID. Next one. Description. What does it mean? Expected parentheses before colon. Underscore display name. All right, let's see if that got fixed. Oh, this would be 3/4 of my problem right here. It's losing its brain because of the semicolons. Two colons. It's sometimes hard to spot these little things in typos. Exists, exits. Ah, there. Okay, compiled. So, all right. So we've got our item, we've got a room, and now we just need our dungeon. So we'll try to knock that out real quick. It's 30 minutes in. We'll knock this one out real quick, and then we'll close out for this video. And in the next video, we will go ahead and, oops, we want private. In the next video, we will go ahead and tie these together using our parser. Again, here we've got a description. And then we've got our, I'm just going to do this and change the name because it's doing the same thing. And then we'll just do this, copy this, throw this in here, underscore description. So there's our dungeon. And now, very similarly, we're going to have a vector of rooms, a vector of items. These items here, where they're described, rather than just the list of items, we're actually going to have a list of these. So they're going to have to be pointers, but we need a list of them because there are going to be many items, and the same with the rooms. And we're going to use unique pointers for that as well. So yeah, rather than working through all that, we'll do that in the next video. We'll just finalize this dungeon piece, and then we'll go over and do it because we're looking at 31 minutes into this video. So, excuse me. So anyway, what we've got quite a bit accomplished here. We got our compiler working, compiling all of this descriptive code, showing how a dungeon should be put together, and we're building up the classes necessary to have that something that the player can move around in. We'll also have to create a little player class to guide to keep the status of the player as you move around. That'll be tied into the command line stuff. So anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked it. If you liked this video, hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.